Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. First off, look at my borrowed landscape of this gorgeous Lady Banks rose. This is my neighbor's rose. I let it come over here, spill over the fence, and I absolutely love it, especially when it's in full bloom. Look at that gorgeous thing. It is so pretty. So it is just coming into bloom right now, and it's looking really, really good. Love it. All right, anyway, what I am working on, I'm actually working on this spot right here. My garden is not the biggest garden. It's not a small garden, but there's, we always want more space, especially I feel like if you live in a neighborhood, we have fences like this. I have neighbors. I'm actually pretty lucky because I live on a corner, so I only have neighbors on 2 sides of me. But of course, a lot of people have neighbors on 3 sides of them with fences. And so there's always a limit to how much space you have. And a lot of people who live in neighborhoods end up having fences like this, lots and lots of fences. And I feel very strongly, I've always felt very strongly, that you need to go up the fence to maximize the amount of space that you have in your garden. I started off with doing that with my honeysuckle espalier. You can kind of see it right there. Let me see if I can give you guys a better view. So this is my narrow side yard. This is the fence that I share with my neighbor. I just did this honeysuckle espalier right here, and it just took this very, very small space on the side of my house, and it made it one of my favorite places because I have this gorgeous honeysuckle growing up the side of my fence. So I took the vertical space that I have in my small garden and I went crazy with it, gardening with it. So that is something that I always try and do, is I always try and utilize the vertical as much as possible to fit as much into my garden as possible. I also think that if you utilize the vertical, you're actually bringing in another dimension of your garden, and your garden doesn't look, flat, kind of one-dimensional, just one plane, or would that be 2-dimensional? I don't know. But once you bring in vertical, like the espalier, or like my honeysuckle arch, or even like this Lady Banks rose, once you bring in the vertical, it really makes a huge difference. So that is what I'm doing here with this crazy thing. Let me turn the camera around so you guys can see. So these are actually hanging planters that I purchased off of Amazon. I have had my eye on these for a while. And then when we decided to paint our fence slate, it's bare slate, that's the color. I absolutely love it. I am so happy with this color of this fence. I was a little nervous at first, but it has turned out to be one of the best decisions we've made. Once I did that, I thought, okay, yep, I am going for these. So these are plantable pockets to plant plants in. I will link the ones I bought down below. This is actually 3 of them. I actually bought 3 of them, and then I hung them up on the fence with little screws right there. And then you can see I just rigged this thing up this morning. This is what I'm going to use to water each thing, but you guys can kind of get an idea of what I'm planning to do. I am planning to go vertical with my plants, and I have a whole bunch of Supertunia Vistas. Supertunia Vista Bubblegum, Supertunia Vista Snowdrift, and Supertunia Vista Jazzberry to put in here. Let me show you guys. It's gonna be awesome. I'm so excited about it. Over here, all these guys. Isn't that going to be amazing? So I don't know how this is going to go. I don't even want to recommend these plant pockets yet, just because this will be the first year that I've actually tried them to see how they do and to see how they hold up. I have to say I was a bit surprised how short they were. I'll put on screen exactly how long they were. I imagined they were going to go a little bit longer down to the ground, but they didn't. So just be aware of that. If you guys are looking at these on Amazon, they make it look like they're way taller than they actually are. And then you open up the package and you're like, oh, well, that's it. But that's okay. I'm going to try it out. I'm going to see how it goes. And then I didn't know how well the Supertunias, I knew I wanted to put Supertunias in them. I just didn't know how well they would grow. So I figured, okay, well, I'm going to get the big guns out, and I'm going to get the Supertunia Vistas because I know these guys are going to be absolutely crazy. My thought is I'm always looking for a place to kind of take a picture, or to talk on camera a little bit, or to take a picture of my girls wouldn't it be fun if I had just a vertical wall of supertunias behind me? So just imagine supertunias all behind me right now. I just feel like that would be so incredibly cool if it works out. This is going to be a total experiment to see how it does. What I'm gonna do, I'm going to plant up one Supertunia Vista can in each pocket. It is a 6-inch pocket. It's 4 inches deep. So I felt like that should be fine. It might be a little tight for a Supertunia Vista, but I'm just gonna try it out and I'm gonna see how it's gonna go. And then of course I have the dripper to each one of them, and then I'm gonna fertilize them. I'm gonna fertilize them like crazy, basically, because they're not gonna have a ton of soil around them. So I wanna make sure that they get the nutrients that they need. But I figured it would be a fun experiment, and it would be a good experiment for those of you that have fences, or even like, you know, if you gardened like on a rooftop or something like that, you know, like just something where you did not have a lot of room. You might be full with your pots, and then maybe it's time to start going up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plant them up, and then I'll be back and I'll show you guys what I did. right, you guys, it is actually a couple days later. I finished planting and I ran out of light, and you couldn't see it in its best light. Plus I watered it, so everything was kind of watered down and waterlogged, but now it's looking so good. So this whole thing, I had the idea. I love planting vertically in my garden. Like I said, my espaliers, I love vines, and I just thought, okay, there's got to be a way that I could jam more color vertically as well. And so this was my idea. It is a total experiment this year. I will keep you all updated on how it does, but so far I'm really, really excited about it. All right, and here it is. I love it. I kind of wish it was a little bit bigger. I kind of wish I got a couple more, and I might even spread them out. So there are 3 plant pockets. You know, I bought 3 of them, and I put them right next to each other, but I'm thinking these are Supertunia Vistas, so they're going to get absolutely huge. So I have to see how big they get, but I might kind of shift it over a little bit. But yeah, I'm super excited about it. The whole setup that I did. So what I did is I have a 1/2-inch hose down there. You can kind of see it, tubing right there. And then I did 3/4 inches, and I just pulled it up behind the plant pocket, and then connected, like teed off, and then connected a 1/2-inch emitter to each one of these pockets. And it's been working really, really well. And they're obviously happy, and they're obviously growing. It is overcast today, so they would be in full sun right now, but it's definitely overcast, which is nice for filming. But look at how good this looks, you guys. Can you imagine, like mid-season, it's going to be crazy. So even if you have a small garden, even if you have have to garden on a balcony or a patio, you can still get color in your garden, which I think is fantastic. Again, I'll keep you updated to see how the Super Tunia Vistas do. I feel like Super Tunia Vistas, like if you plant them in the ground, they can get like 4 feet wide. I feel like they won't get their max potential just because they are limited to this amount of space. This is 4 inches deep, and then I think it's 6 inches wide. They're basically limited to that amount of space to grow. So I don't think they're going to get to their full potential, but I think that they will be really, really happy. Plus, I'm thinking if this ends up working out, can you imagine having like a vertical herb wall or something like that? Wouldn't that be absolutely beautiful and useful? And like if you live in an apartment and you only have a little bit of space, having your herb wall go vertical, I think would be so cool. This also, you can have these inside and you can plant houseplants in it as well. I don't think I'll be doing that, but I really like how it's looking like out here. So like I said, I'll keep you guys updated on how they're doing. I'm super excited about it. I think we're going to be taking a lot of pictures in front of this, a lot of the girls' pictures and stuff like that. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Let me know if you're trying anything vertical like this in your own garden. And I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.